In a small village in ancient Israel, there lived a young girl named Miriam. She was bright-eyed and full of curiosity, with a heart that sought peace and harmony. Her family, devout followers of God, held the Sabbath in the highest regard. Every week, they would prepare for the holy day with reverence, lighting the candles, reciting blessings, and gathering around the table for a meal that felt both sacred and simple. But as much as Miriam cherished the Sabbath, it made her different from the other children in her village. While most of the children played and worked through the day on what was considered the holiest day of the week, Miriam would set aside everything and devote herself to rest, prayer, and family. Her friends didn't understand why she couldn't join them in their games, why she couldn't run errands or do chores on that day. They would often call her the strange one, or mock her for being so different. One warm Friday afternoon, just before the Sabbath would begin, Miriam was walking with her best friend, Ruth, toward the market. The streets were bustling, and everyone was preparing for the evening's feast. Ruth, whose family did not observe the Sabbath, turned to her with a mischievous smile. "Come on, Miriam. Everyone is going to be at the market. You don't want to miss out on all the fun, do you?" Ruth teased. Miriam hesitated, knowing that once the sun set, she couldn't engage in any work or activities until the Sabbath was over. But her heart longed to be part of the village's lively spirit. "I can't, Ruth," she said softly, her gaze falling to the ground. "I must rest, as my family does. It's what we believe in." Ruth's eyes narrowed, her playful smile fading into something a little darker. "You're always so serious about it, Miriam. It's just a day. You're missing out on life by following all those rules." Other children nearby overheard the conversation and, sensing an opportunity to tease, began to join in. "Miriam, you're too strict," one of the boys called out. "Don't you know how to have fun?" Miriam's cheeks flushed with embarrassment, but she stood tall, keeping her eyes fixed on the ground. She wanted to tell them that it wasn't about being strict or not having fun. It was about honoring her faith, about taking time to rest and reflect on the beauty of life and the Creator. But the words felt like they would only make things worse. As the days passed, the teasing grew worse. Some children threw small stones at her as she walked past, calling her names. Others would purposely avoid her, whispering behind her back. The pain of being so different, of not being able to join in with the others, began to weigh heavily on her young heart. But Miriam's resolve did not waver. She knew that the Sabbath was not just a day of rest, but a gift, a commandment from God to His people. Her faith was strong, even when others couldn't understand it. One day, as Miriam sat by the edge of a quiet field, her heart heavy from the teasing, an older woman approached her. The woman had a kind face, weathered by age but still full of warmth. "I see you, child," the woman said softly. "Your heart is pure. Do not let their words weigh you down. The Sabbath is a gift from the Lord. It is a day of peace, a day to rest in Him." Miriam looked up at the woman, her eyes full of questions. "But they say I am strange. They say I am foolish." The woman smiled gently and sat down beside her. "People do not always understand the things of God. They may mock you, but you must continue to walk in His ways. You are not foolish. You are wise in the eyes of the Lord. Your faith is a light that shines brightly, even if others cannot see it yet." Miriam felt a warm peace wash over her as the woman's words sank deep into her heart. For the first time in days, she felt understood. From that day forward, though the teasing did not stop entirely, Miriam's heart remained steady. She continued to honor the Sabbath with joy, even when others laughed or mocked her. And as she grew older, others began to take notice of her peace, her kindness, and her unwavering faith. Slowly but surely, they began to see the beauty in what she held dear. Miriam's story became one that was passed down through generations, a story of strength, faith, and the quiet courage it takes to stand firm in what you believe, even when the world around you may not understand. And though she faced hardship, Miriam knew one thing for certain. The Sabbath was not just a day, it was a gift, and no mockery could take that away from her.